What's up, everybody? Weil with Blockchain Academics. Today we're going to be doing a video on moving averages, how to use moving averages to invest or trade, to spot trends, to buy or to sell, to get into buy, long, or short positions. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment. If you have any questions, leave them below. If you want us to go over any specific coin, any altcoin, or any traditional asset, yeah, leave that below and we'll get into that. So first of all, moving averages. Let's just go to BTC USD. Moving averages are the most used technical analysis tool. Most people use them, and I think most people use them for spotting trends, or it's as simple as using them to buy and sell. So we're going to go over multiple examples. I'm going to use different moving averages. So right now we have, let me see, I got to turn off the TI sequential, right? And I'm going to share this as well in our Discord so people can jump in and watch. So shared. And yeah, let's get back to it. So like I said, moving averages, they are the most used technical tool. And we're going to go over a few different moving average, options. So like the length, those are some entries. Right now we're using 50 and 200. We're going to use the 50 and 200. So as you can see, that's 50 and that's 200. The 200 is orange and the 50 is blue. So the 50 is a smaller time frame. It'll move quicker. The strategy that we're going to use is when we're going to look for a golden cross. So a golden cross is when the smaller, so I'll write that, the smaller MA, so 50, crosses the 200 larger MA. That is golden cross, for those of you guys that don't know. So when you have the smaller MA 50 crossing the 200 larger MA, and smaller moving averages, they move quicker because the moving average is essentially just the price. And these are the candles, so the price of the day or whatever time frame you have, the price. So we're on 4 hours, so it's going to take every 4-hour price for the last 50 candles, and it's going to make that into a moving average, and format is a line, as you can see. So moving averages are very powerful, and then there's multiple types of moving averages. You have the simple moving average, the weighted moving average, and then you have the exponential weighted average, which is just like they're giving more weight, exponentially more weight to the earlier prices than the last 50, 49, and it just gives more weight to the more recent prices. So we have the golden cross, and then this is just going to be another minute for me to explain this for people that don't know. So we have the slower moving average, 200, crossing the 50. Smaller moving average gives you a death cross. So we're going to be short while there's the death cross, and we're going to be long while we see a golden cross. And my trading mentor and coach has actually made this indicator with a few other technicals, with a few other indicators, and a lot of his work into it. So you can see here, without this, we got the golden cross. And you can see here how the moving average is flatlined. And I'm going to get into trends using moving averages and then the buys and sells. So you can see here, this is way more visually, which a trained eye can see this. Without this, you can, I can see that buy, but with this, it's more visual. You get the buy, you can trim here, you rebuy here, you can trim here, rebuy here, trim here. So, and you'll see, I'll turn the MSR on so you can see what I'm talking about when I'm going over these examples, so you can see like when I'm taking shorts and when I'm taking longs. So if we just go back, and this is on the 4-hour, I'm using the 50 and 200 EMA on the 4-hour, and it's relevant because we're going to go down to the 3-minute, we'll go down to the 15-minute, and then I'm going to look at golds, I'm going to look at a lot of altcoins, and then I'm going to change up the metrics. I'm going to change up the moving averages from 50 and 200 to another setting that I find is amazing with alts. And when it happens on bigger time frames, the prices move. Like literally, the coins just move. So you can see here, let's start here, and I'm going to show you what the program will do. So we went long, probably about here on the program, and we didn't get an opportunity to rebuy back, because if we get the golden cross, depending on how far extended we are, I'll enter. So as you can see, this was our resistance. And like I said, when you are doing this more often, and we could probably pull this back, and you can see how that worked as resistance and support here as well, the change in polarity. So you can see here that we tried to break this and we couldn't. We tapped it a few times. This is coming from a downward move, a long downward move. So this would have been a death cross. Death cross comes, and so to point out trends, when the moving averages are pointing up, you have an uptrend. You know, the moving averages are pointing up. As you can see here, they're pointing up. We have higher highs. So we just broke this. We have a higher high here, higher low from this zone right here. And then we do a higher high, higher low, higher high. And now we're breaking this high, higher low, higher high. This is a clear uptrend right here. So if you would have bought here, so this is what I've done. If you only see up to this, where the crossover was, if we only saw up to the crossover right here, it's actually fairly close to the line, so to the moving averages. So I would have at least entered 50% around here, and you wouldn't have got stopped out. This is just one strategy. And obviously you want to, you're going to have to go through risk management, which is a whole nother video itself. So as you can see here, we had this change of momentum. We broke above it, almost tested it. If I draw this like that, no, that's not right then. We almost tested it, and then we kept going. So once we get the crossover and you get your initial entry, the next place you'll want to enter. So if you don't get it, if you were sleeping or whatever, or maybe you missed the move, the next place to enter would be on the 200 moving average. The 50 moving average, the price will get there, but you're really looking for an entry on the 200. You may add to this if you're not exposed long, like if you maybe enter 10% and it starts pushing up and you're looking for an area to enter, you'll enter maybe a little bit at 50, but I never enter at the 50. I wait for the 200, and I'm going to show you guys. So when the golden cross happens and we're trending up, you're buying the touches on the 200. You see here, we got a breakdown. Buy orders would have been here, and we jumped up right away from 9,400 to 10,000. That's a quick move, and you can see here that we held that. So here you might have got stopped out. It changed out. So I want you to note that this now crossed over. This may be a bit far extended from the moving averages to enter. It's 8,400 and this is 9,400. So you may not want to enter that. What did I say? We're going to now take positions on the touch of the 200 moving average, would have been here. So on the bull side with the golden cross, you're buying if it touched here, buying if it touched here. Now that it crossed over and we have the death cross and the moving averages are pointing down, and you can see that this trend, it broke. This uptrend broke. However you want to draw the trend line, it literally broke. So now you can see that the moving averages are pointing down. We are rejecting the 200 EMA, which you should have been short here. This was the perfect short. You missed the short, or maybe it was too extended from the crossover, so you didn't want to take that entry. And this is why I don't enter into the 50, because most of the time we'll retest the 200, and I want to give myself a better entry. If I can enter here but get all this drawdown, what is this? 8,900. Price came all the way to 9,200. That's $300. I would definitely take the entry here. That's like in line with my system, and it crashed. And you can see here we got the crossover, and this is going to go in line with the MSR. You can see buy here, sell here. Yeah, buy here, sell here, and now this is a buy. So take this off, and we'll keep doing this manually. This would have been a great trade. And now on the 4-hour, you can see that it's crossed. The moving averages are flatlining. I'm going to move one of them away. Traditionally, what you would do on moving averages, if you just had one, is when it breaks above, you buy. When it breaks below, you sell. It tested, that's a re-entry. Broke above, you sell. You break above, you buy. You break below, you sell. That's like the most basic form of moving averages. And you can use whatever time frame you've back tested on, but now we're using 2, and that's a bit more advanced. But just using one moving average, that's actually a strategy. People make money on that. So you can see that we got the crossover here, these kind of flat lines. So you'll see some whipsaws, but the move kind of took off here when the moving averages started to kind of, and if I put the volume too, you could probably see around here there's an increase in volume, in my opinion. Right here probably you can see that because the moving averages started to slowly pick up. It started to slowly pick up. We got the crossover here. This would be a huge buy. And you can see here that the moving average, so the blue never crossed the orange here, which would be another buy as well. Why I'm buying this, because not only is the volume picking up here, the moving averages are going up, and we retested the 50 tested the 200 and just bounced off it. The price tested both moving averages and bounced off it. So if you didn't go long here, which would have been long here with the MSR because there's the Lucid SAR and there's Consensio and all that. So if you weren't long there, if you missed it, check out this long. You had your buy orders here. You had your buy orders here. This is 80, 100. It went to 10 grand. 22%, 5x leverage. Bitmex, I know you guys are crazy and you're doing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x leverage. This is crazy profits. And when I turn the MSR, I always love to capture profits. If I bought here, I'm going to sell here. If I bought here again, I'm going to sell up here. Like, why would I, I'm capturing as much profits as I can. So you can see bounce back up 2 grand, came back down to 8,600. This is an amazing buy opportunity. Went back up to 10.5 almost, came back down for us to buy. So, and now it's back up. It's almost back at 10 grand. This is on the 4-hour Bitcoin, and we can go back and you can see that, this right here was an amazing buy signal. Buy here, it retested on this moving average at the 3,000 level. It didn't ever cross back. It crossed back over 10 grand, 4K to 10K, and it went to 14K here. You know what I mean? So moving averages are strong. Now you can use this long term. So we did 4 hours. I'm going to go to the 3-minute, and you can see that it's the same thing. The 3-minute, even the 15-second, it'll catch the trends. So this broke down a lot. It gave you a pretty bad short. That's what I'm saying. If you get the crossover at 10 grand and then price is at 94, you're not going to enter that. That's you've missed basically the entry. But if we break this down on 15 seconds, a time frame I do trade, it caught that perfectly. It caught the short perfectly because you're playing smaller time frames, and I know the bigger time frames end up basically manifesting these large moves, but it actually starts from these smaller time frames. So I'm not going to be able to see that move a couple, 2 days ago? Okay, right here on the 30-second. On the 30-second, caught this short at 10,000. Great short. Look at that. So you can see that moving averages, 30 seconds, 15 minutes. I like the 15 minutes as well. So you can see here, I'll take this away. When we crossed here, we got more buys here, more buys here, more buys here. And if you just kept with this strategy, you can see we're uptrending. We're clearly uptrending, and it can make a ton of money just following a simple strategy like this. We're going to go to gold, and then we're going to go to a few altcoins. So with gold, same thing. This is the 15-minute. I'm going to go to the 4-hour. You can see here, cross, retest the 200, and it's been up ever since. That is 11%. That's like, if you want to wait for the cross and wait for the retest, you are giving yourself like a high reward to risk trade. You're, removing a lot of margin for error, and you're just following your system. So that, and you can see here as well, when we crossed here, it took off, gave you another reentry here, gave you another reentry here. It looks like a huge inverse head and shoulders. But anyways, we're going to go to Doge now. So you guys, 50 moving average and 200 moving average. And if we put this on the 3-minute as well, you can see that it's still working. If we break it down to any time frame, the 3-minute was amazing. The 3-minute went short here. And like I said, what we're going to do is when we're short and the moving averages are pointing down, we're going to take shorts. When the moving averages are pointing up and we get that golden cross, we're going to take longs. So we got the death cross right here, the 50 and the 200 moving average crossing each other. Price is super extended from the moving average. We're not going to take this. I would not take this sell. I would take the re-entry on the 200, which I've been talking about all this whole video. So re-entry, 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 massive profits. We get the cross above. We got a whipsaw here, but after we get, the moving average is moving up, we get the cross. You enter here, you re-enter here. This may have triggered your stop loss, but if you don't have a manual one and you're just playing it like that, you are good. And you've literally, even on the smaller time frames, it's super powerful. So we're gonna go to Dogecoin. We're gonna do some alts now. Actually, but instead of Doge, we'll do a Doge, then we'll do Ethereum. So we're gonna look on the weekly, and I like to look at some coins. So this works on the S&P as well. So we're on the weekly. I'm gonna remove all drawing tools. You guys can see I've definitely tried this up. So remove all drawings. And let's remove this, let's remove volume. And now we're only on the moving averages. So we're gonna use 4 and 9. So 50 and 200 are very popular. You can jot down 4 and 9 as well. So 4 and 9 have been great on alts on the weekly time frame. And I'm gonna remove the price so you guys can see how well it's actually done. So as you can see here, 4 and 9, when the 4 crosses the 9, we buy. When the 4 crosses the 9 on the upside, we sell. Would you buy here though because it crossed? No, you wouldn't, because this uptrend it's done. The uptrend's done, and you can see that not only is the uptrend done, but the moving averages are now, let's see if I could, they're now pointing down. So you're buying this because the momentum's going up. When it crosses to the downside and the moving averages are pointing down, you're not looking to take buys. You might get this small buy. And when I put the price, you can just see, like, you see you buy here at 35 and the price went to 119. That's a 4x. Let me remove this again. So bought here, you bought at 44, and I know price probably went to 100. You can short this definitely. This never crossed again like it did here. So it's like some people ask me, would you buy here? No, because the moving averages are pointing down. Not only are they pointing down, the whole move, this whole uptrend, the market structure is broken. This is a clear downtrend after. Moving averages are pointing down. I'm not looking to take buys. If I'm looking to take buys, it's going to be maybe a 10th of what my short would be. So they come back here, price goes up, and we can turn on the price. You can see when it turned here, it went back up. It went from 49 to 86. Not too bad, 100%. Let's turn that back off. Here, same thing. This is where the big buys came in. You bought at 20 sats right here. It told you to get out at 99. That's a 5x. That's 100%. But the price actually went to, so moving averages aren't going to give you the best entries or exits. Like you could have bought at 15 instead of 23, and you could have sold at 188 instead of 100. They're lagging. So that's why we have the MSR as well, which I use, this is on a bigger time frame, but that's to take profits. So using these moving averages are not going to give you the best exits, but they'll let you know like the market is trending one way. So you can see here, you went short here potentially at 100, you bought back at 21. And you see what I'm saying? This is a powerful 4-9. So right here, we're having a ton of whipsaw right here. I mean, the market's the world is in a crazy place. So I wouldn't expect Doge to just do some crazy numbers. We're gonna go to ETH BTC as well. Oh, I just added that to my. So ETH BTC, same thing. And it's just been trending down. I think with the USD, we see that Ethereum USD. So same thing, crossed here, did a huge bull run. We're not entering here. This is completely, in a downtrend. Why would we enter in a downtrend? I don't want the MSR, I want the price. Wouldn't enter in a downtrend. Price comes back right here, and you can see that the moving averages are starting to move up. We get the golden cross. Price most definitely, I already know, tested the 200. It's like hugging it, and then it went up. And this is where you'd be selling. So you'd buy at 124 and you'd be selling at 260. That's 100%. You wouldn't be buying this because that is on its way. It's like a downtrend. You can just see clearly. Okay, this never crossed. Actually, it got rejected. So this would be great. So that's basically it on moving strategies, moving averages. Using moving averages to buy spot trends. You can use them on currencies, any asset, any stock, cryptocurrency, and that's pretty much it. So with this video, you definitely learned, using moving averages to. This was like the very basics of it, because now you can use moving averages with, zones with like resistance, supports, more confluence, more confirmation, and it'll give you stronger buys and stronger sells. So if you guys have any questions, if you want to see anything on the technical analysis side, any more TA, money management, whatever it is, make sure to post below, make sure to subscribe, and I'll be sharing MSR's buy and sell signals weekly, pretty consistent with them, maybe a couple times a week. And I'll always update the positions and things like that. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and enjoy the beautiful weekend. It's actually Thursday, so